Welcome, Habit Explorers, to an in-depth journey into one of the most transformative books of our time, Atomic Habits by James Clear. If you've ever struggled to make good habits stick, or wish you could break free from bad ones, this is the guide you've been waiting for. Today, we're not just summarizing, we're dissecting. We'll spend the next 90 minutes uncovering the profound insights and practical strategies that James Clear lays out, showing you how tiny, incremental changes can lead to remarkable results. This isn't about willpower or motivation. It's about understanding the science of how habits work and designing your environment for success. Are you ready to build systems that guarantee progress, cultivate an identity that empowers you, and transform your life one small habit at a time? Let's begin the deep dive into Atomic Habits. Part 1. The Surprising Power of Atomic Habits. James Clear starts with a radical premise. Small changes lead to remarkable results. This isn't intuitive. We often think big results require monumental effort. But Clear argues for the power of atomic habits. Tiny, incremental, 1% improvements that compound over time. Think about it. Improving by just 1% every day for a year means you'll end up 37 times better by the end. Conversely, getting 1% worse each day compounds into significant decline. This concept, often overlooked, is the bedrock of habit formation. It's not about a single moment of transformation. It's about the accumulation of marginal gains. This idea challenges the traditional focus on goals. Clear posits that goals are good for setting a direction, but systems are best for making progress. If you want to write a book, the goal is to finish the book. The system is the schedule you follow each week to write. If you're a coach, your goal is to win a championship. Your system is how you recruit players, manage practices, and strategize for games. When you fall in love with the process rather than the product, you increase your chances of success. Our focus should shift from what we want to achieve to who we wish to become. This is the essence of identity-based habits. Instead of saying, I want to run a marathon, outcome-based, say, I want to be a runner, identity-based. The goal is not to read a book, but to become a reader. The goal is not to clean your room, but to become an organized person. When you change your identity, your habits naturally follow. This internal shift makes it easier to adopt new behaviors because they align with who you perceive yourself to be. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. The more votes you cast for your desired identity, the stronger that identity becomes. Key takeaway for this section: forget big leaps. Focus on tiny, consistent improvements. Build robust systems, not just ambitious goals. And most importantly, align your habits with the person you want to become. This foundation will guide us to the practical framework of the 4 laws of behavior change. Part 2, the 4 laws of behavior change, making it obvious. Now, let's dive into the practical framework, the 4 laws of behavior change. These are the simple rules that govern how habits are formed and broken. The first law is to make it obvious. Our environment plays a far greater role in shaping our habits than we often realize. Good intentions often fall short when our surroundings conspire against us. Clear emphasizes that you are not your environment, but your environment can shape your habits. Consider the power of visual cues. If you want to eat healthier, leave a bowl of fruit on your counter where it's easily visible. If you want to practice your guitar more, leave it out in the living room instead of tucked away in a closet. Conversely, to break a bad habit, make the cues for it invisible. If you're trying to watch less TV, unplug it and put the remote in a drawer. The less you see something, the less likely you are to be cued into that behavior. This leads us to the habit stacking strategy. Instead of trying to remember to do a new habit, link it to an existing one. The formula is simple. After current habit, I will new habit. For example, after I pour my morning coffee, I will meditate for 1 minute. Or, after I close my laptop for the day, I will immediately put on my running shoes. By attaching a new desired behavior to an established routine, you eliminate the need for conscious decision-making. The current habit acts as the trigger for the new one. Another powerful technique is to design your environment. Arrange your home and workspace in a way that makes good habits easy and bad habits difficult. If you want to wake up and exercise, lay out your gym clothes the night before. If you want to avoid junk food, simply don't buy it when you go grocery shopping. The more friction you can add to bad habits and remove from good ones, the better. This isn't about being weak-willed. It's about being smart. We often assume that the people who have good habits are simply more disciplined. But more often than not, they've simply designed their lives to make those habits effortless. Practical application. Take a moment to audit your current environment. What cues are present that are triggering your bad habits? How can you make the cues for your good habits more prominent? Think about your morning routine, your workspace, and even the layout of your kitchen. Small changes in your environment can lead to significant shifts in your behavior without relying on willpower. This first law, making it obvious, is about strategically setting the stage for success. Part 3, the 4 laws of behavior change, making it attractive. The second law of behavior change is to make it attractive. Our brains are hardwired to seek pleasure and avoid pain. If a habit isn't appealing, it's unlikely to stick. Clear explains that dopamine, the feel-good neurotransmitter, plays a crucial role here. The anticipation of a reward is what actually drives us to act. This insight gives us a powerful tool, temptation bundling. This strategy involves pairing an action you want to do with an action you need to do. For example, I will only listen to my favorite podcast while I'm doing laundry, or I will only watch this TV show while I'm on the treadmill. By linking a high-pleasure activity to a low-pleasure but necessary activity, you make the latter more attractive due to the anticipation of the former. This is a clever way to leverage your brain's reward system to your advantage. Think about how our habits are often influenced by the people around us. We tend to imitate the habits of 3 groups: the close, the many, and the powerful. If you want to build a new habit, join a culture where your desired behavior is the normal behavior. For instance, if you want to get fit, join a running club or a gym where active people are the norm. If you want to read more, join a book club. When you're surrounded by people who embody the identity you want to adopt, your motivation naturally increases, and those habits become more attractive because they're seen as socially desirable. Furthermore, we can make habits more attractive by framing them differently. Instead of thinking, I have to go to the gym, reframe it as, I get to build strength and improve my health. Instead of, I have to save money, think, I get to create financial freedom for my future. The language we use to describe our habits can significantly alter our perception of them. It's about focusing on the benefits and the positive outcomes, rather than the perceived drudgery. Practical application. Identify a habit you're struggling to adopt. Can you pair it with something you genuinely enjoy doing? Look for groups or communities where your desired habits are the norm. How can you reframe your perception of the habit to highlight its positive aspects? Making habits attractive isn't about tricking yourself. It's about understanding human psychology and working with it, not against it. This law teaches us to tap into our natural desires and make the path of least resistance the path towards our goals. Part 4, the 4 laws of behavior change, making it easy. The third law of behavior change is to make it easy. This might seem obvious, but its implications are profound. James Clear argues that the secret to sticking with habits is not to make them perfect, but to make them easy enough to start. The fewer steps between you and your desired habit, the more likely you are to do it. This brings us to the concept of friction. The more friction, effort, involved in performing a habit, the less likely you are to do it. To make good habits easy, reduce the friction. To make bad habits hard, increase the friction. For example, if you want to eat healthier snacks, pre-cut vegetables and put them in grab-and-go containers in your fridge. If you want to stop checking social media, delete the apps from your phone and only access them from your computer with a longer password. These small acts of preparation or removal can make a huge difference. The 2-minute rule is another powerful tool from this law. It states that when you start a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to do. Read before bed becomes read 1 page. Run 3 miles becomes put on my running shoes. The goal is to make the starting point so easy that you can't say no. The point is not to achieve the full task, but to master the art of showing up. Once you start, it's often easier to continue than to stop. This rule helps overcome the initial inertia that often prevents us from beginning new behaviors. It's about building a gateway habit, a tiny action that leads to a larger desired behavior. Furthermore, Clear talks about decision fatigue. The more decisions you have to make throughout the day, the less willpower you have for important tasks. To make good habits easy, automate your choices. Set up automatic savings transfers, meal prep for the week, or schedule your workouts in advance. The less you have to think about a habit, the more likely it is to happen. This creates a powerful advantage, freeing up your mental energy for more complex problems and ensuring your positive habits run on autopilot. Practical application. Look at your desired habits. How can you reduce the number of steps required to perform them? What friction points can you eliminate? Can you apply the 2-minute rule? To get started, for your bad habits, what friction can you introduce? Making it easy isn't about laziness. It's about intelligence and strategic design. It's about ensuring that the path of least resistance is the one that moves you towards your goals, not away from them. Part 5. The 4 laws of behavior change, making it satisfying. The fourth and final law of behavior change is to make it satisfying. This is crucial because what gets rewarded gets repeated. If a behavior isn't immediately satisfying, our brains are less likely to want to repeat it. The problem with many good habits, like saving money or exercising, is that their rewards are often delayed, while bad habits, like eating junk food or procrastinating, offer immediate gratification. To counteract this, we need to add immediate gratification to good habits. One effective technique is using a habit tracker. Simply marking an X on a calendar each day you perform a desired habit provides an immediate visual reward. It shows your progress, creates a streak, and offers a sense of accomplishment. The visual evidence of your consistency is a powerful motivator to keep going. Don't break the chain. Another strategy is to use immediate rewards that align with your identity. If you work out, perhaps you allow yourself to buy a new piece of workout gear after a month of consistent exercise. If you save money, maybe you set aside a small portion for a guilt-free treat or experience. The key is to make the reward immediate and tied to the habit, rather than waiting for distant, abstract results. This brings the long-term benefits of good habits into the present moment. For breaking bad habits, we can use the opposite principle. Make it immediately unsatisfying. This can involve creating a commitment device. For example, if you're trying to save money, put a portion of your paycheck into an account that's difficult to access immediately. If you want to reduce screen time, use an app that locks you out of certain websites after a set period, making it inconvenient to relapse. The pain of the bad habit needs to be immediate, not just long-term. Furthermore, accountability is a powerful tool to make habits satisfying or unsatisfying. Find an accountability partner. Tell a friend or family member about your goals and ask them to check in on your progress. Knowing that someone else is watching can provide an extra layer of motivation and make it more satisfying to succeed and more unsatisfying to fail. Public commitment significantly increases your chances of success. Practical application. How can you make your good habits feel immediately rewarding, even if the biggest benefits are long-term? Can you implement a habit tracker? What immediate punishments or inconveniences can you attach to your bad habits? Making it satisfying closes a feedback loop, ensuring that your brain associates positive feelings with your desired behaviors, making them more likely to become ingrained. Part 6. Advanced Tactics and the Downside of Habits. Beyond the 4 laws, Clear offers some advanced tactics and important considerations. One key concept is to find a habit that suits your personality. Not every habit works for everyone, and trying to force a habit that goes against your natural inclinations is often a recipe for failure. Understand your strengths, your preferences, and design habits that leverage them. Another advanced tactic is to master the art of showing up. There will be days when you don't feel like doing your habit. On those days, the goal is simply to show up, even if you do a minimal version of the habit. If you plan to work out for an hour, but you're exhausted, just do 10 minutes. The point is to maintain the streak and reinforce your identity, rather than breaking the chain completely. Consistency is more important than intensity in the long run. Clear also warns about the downside of habits. They can make us complacent. Once a habit becomes automatic, we stop paying attention. This can lead to stagnation if we don't continuously refine and improve. He suggests implementing a system of regular review and reflection. Periodically, assess your habits. Are they still serving you? Are there ways to optimize them? This prevents habits from becoming mindless routines that no longer contribute to your growth. It's about continuous learning and adaptation. Finally, the concept of never missing twice. If you miss a habit once, don't let it become twice. One missed workout is an accident. Two is the start of a new bad habit. The power of recovering quickly from a slip-up is crucial for long-term success. It teaches resilience and prevents minor setbacks from derailing your entire progress. Don't strive for perfection. Strive for consistency, and learn to bounce back rapidly when you inevitably stumble. Part 7. Conclusion and your habit transformation. We've journeyed through profound insights of James Clear's Atomic Habits. We've seen how tiny, atomic changes, when compounded, can lead to monumental results. We've explored the foundational shift from outcome-based goals to identity-based habits, understanding that who we become dictates what we achieve. And we've broken down the 4 simple, yet powerful laws of behavior change. 1. Make it obvious. Design your environment for success. 2. Make it attractive. Leverage your desires and join supportive cultures. 3. Make it easy. Reduce friction and master the art of showing up. 4. Make it satisfying. Ensure immediate rewards and accountability. Remember, the journey to self-improvement is not about grand gestures or superhuman willpower. It's about designing systems that make good habits inevitable and bad habits impossible. It's about casting a daily vote for the person you wish to become. Every small action, every consistent effort, builds towards the identity you desire. Your transformation doesn't happen in a single moment. It happens in the countless atomic habits you practice every single day. Start small, stay consistent, and watch as your life unfolds into the masterpiece you design. Your challenge today: choose one small habit you want to implement and apply one of the 4 laws to it. Make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, or make it satisfying. Just start. If this deep dive into atomic habits has empowered you to take control of your habits, please like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to our channel for more transformative book summaries. What habit will you start building today? Let us know in the comments below.